You ready? Actually, before we go into the black recesses of my soul, I just need a minute.
Of course.
Oh, thanks.
She's a star with many talents and a growing list of callings. Luke Burbank talks with the always surprising Juliette Lewis.
So you're at this phase of your career, like you're still finding out things and interested in these characters?
Look, as a leaf falls. What was that?
The only predictable thing about interviewing Juliette Lewis
This is a Dodge Challenger. Man, I wish I could spout out all the facts about it.
is that there's no predicting where things might go.
What is the story on this car?
It comes from the midlife thing of enjoying the fruits of their labor.
This is your midlife crisis car?
Don't call it a crisis. So I'm not going to dump all my issues like driving through the rain, coming from the mountains, and in between projects. No. I'm actually honored that you're picking me to do a profile on. That's cool.
Cool and unpredictable. Two words that could accurately describe both Lewis and her Hollywood career over the years, where she's played characters who are menaced.
I need you to follow me here.
You know me pretty well, don't you, darling?
Yeah.
You're gonna get to know me a lot better, too.
Characters who are doing the menacing.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a redneck by its toe.
And just about everyone in between.
It's really interesting that to this day, the handful of movies I did when I first started still resonate and are still being seen by new generations.
Lewis grew up in L.A. watching her father, Jeffrey Lewis, act in countless movies and TV shows.
So I went into my meditation routine, you know.
Often opposite Clint Eastwood.
I've been thinking about this a lot recently because I'm in a cowboyish movie, for lack of a better word. It's a weird Western, but I feel like my dad because I'm like in the gear and the boots and I gotta ride horses. And my first sets are those kinds of sets. That was my first time on this playground.
But Lewis says the acting bug didn't actually bite her until her teenage years, when, with no formal training, she started going out on auditions.
I did sitcoms, which they like everything straight and really high energy, where I almost got fired from a sitcom early on.
For what?
I think for behaving naturally.
You're basically being too good at acting, essentially?
I mean, Marty said so later, but they did not like my style.
Marty is, of course, Martin Scorsese, who cast a teenage Juliette Lewis in the movie Cape Fear and changed the trajectory of her life.
You're not the drama teacher, are you?
Maybe I'm the big bad wolf.
The performance earned an 18-year-old Lewis an Oscar nomination and launched a run of memorable 90s films,
Oh, look, to praying mantis. You know how they mate?
including What's Eating Gilbert Grape, opposite Johnny Depp,
And then when they're done, she'll eat them.
Strange Days, and Oliver Stone's hyper-violent satire, Natural Born Killers, with Woody Harrelson.
I think I scared a lot of people who make business decisions.
You can't keep making away from me.
People didn't walk around thinking Woody was crazy, but they did of me. Isn't that funny?
The tabloids branded Lewis a wild child and breathlessly covered her high-profile relationships.
Yeah, I'm wondering what it's been like for you to live like such a public life. I mean, to be a celebrity, to have people kind of know who you are. Like, did you know what you were signing up for with that?
No, I'm laughing because what if I just started weeping and fell apart?
That would make this a really good special.
At 22, Lewis got sober. She says through the Church of Scientology, and then started pursuing a quieter life off screen.
I made a decision early on to reclaim my existence on my own terms. I've taken time off from movie making. I started my band when I was 30.
Her punk band, Juliette and the Licks, toured extensively, giving her a chance to live out a different childhood fantasy.
I had always wanted to be a singer when I was a kid. Like, the things that inspired me were Rocky Horror Picture Show, Fame, Flashdance, the musical Hair. These were everything to me. They had all the things: drama, you'd weep, the music, dance.
5 years ago, the band announced they were recording new music together once again. But any future projects with the band will have to split time with Lewis's busy acting schedule,
I mean, at least undo one. I am starving.
including starring as Natalie in the hit Yellowjackets,
Natalie, time for group.
airing on Showtime, which is part of our parent company, Paramount Global. The show is about a high school soccer team from New Jersey that gets stranded in the wilderness.
After they rescued us, I lost my purpose.
I love the idea of when you think someone's one thing and they're another. What you reveal and what you conceal, and that dance is what's interesting to play.
And as we neared the end of the interview,
Okay, now I start crying.
something else I wouldn't have predicted.
I'm not trying to have tears this interview.
The one moment Juliette Lewis grew visibly emotional in a conversation spanning life, love, family, addiction, and acting. It was the mention of one of her very first movie roles in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Isn't it a beaut, Audrey?
She'll see it later, honey. Her eyes are frozen.
I'm curious if you had a sense what a cultural touchstone this would be. I mean, it's obviously required viewing around Christmas.
It is so moving to me that to do something that when I was 15, no, I had no idea, that every year families talk to me, people who've lost their parents who tell me this is a tradition, that my little 15-year-old sarcastic self is in their lives every year. That's really remarkable and a blessing, and just getting lucky.
If luck is the residue of design, then Juliette Lewis's career appears to be the result of taking chances, staying true to yourself, and never, ever being predictable.
Yeah, it's weird. Middle age is weird because what sustains you in your 20s is not necessarily what sustains you in midlife. However, I don't ever want to lose a certain kind of fire, seizing the day, all that good stuff. But no, I'm not a maniac. Meaning, if we weren't doing this, I would just be at home. I would just look at the mountains and listen to the birds and throw a ball with my dogs, stuff like that.